live or you mic check?
Live.
We live. What's up, Full Circle? It's your boy Flash coming at you with another Wealth Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Coming at you with another Wealth Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? We coming. You know how we coming, man, on Wealth Wednesdays. We got charts coming up. You know what I'm talking. Couple topics to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a Wednesday.
It's a good Wednesday,
I'll talk to
man.
him, let him know.
It's a good Wednesday, man. Wealth Wednesdays at that. Just looking at the screen, making sure we look good, you know. But yeah, it's a good Wednesday, good week so far. How you feeling, man? It's December 17th, man. How you feeling, Flash?
Overall, for the month of December?
Yeah.
Yep.
month of December.
I'm feeling like we're right in the middle of December, honestly. Like, it feels like this year has gone by like this, right? I remember last year I was in a different position, right? So overall, since last year, if I could give you a scale, broke the scale from last year, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, like
I feel you.
it definitely feels good to be where we are right now. Where I am at, but you know what I'm saying, where we are, you know what I'm saying? On top of that, mental health is up there, right? Like we in there, we in a good space from where we were last year. Like I would say we're on an up year from in its entirety, right? And so December specifically, right? Feels good. We here, you know what I'm saying, getting up every day, doing what I'm supposed to do, you know? That routine that we have is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's. I'm glad you said that because, you know, I thought about that for myself too, you know, comparing myself from where I was last December to, you know, this December. And definitely a lot of growth, you know, year over year, you know, just like a stock or, you know, a crypto or an investment, you know, looking at your growth year over year. And, you know, I'm even more excited for 2026, man. We got some things special coming for 2026 for sure. And, you know, we laid the foundation all 2025. So, you know, we're in the game, man. Sure. We're in the game. You got anything you want to touch on before we hop into the SPY Bitcoin and Full Circle Wealth Portfolio?
Yeah.
What you got?
Make sure to always be you, man. Full circle way, right? The quick little words of motivation, right? Like, there's always a time and a place for you to be you. And so when you get that opportunity, make sure that you take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you get to the point where you're comfortable with yourself to stand out as well. Like, realize that what you want to do is where your mind and your dreams are not far. They're not too far for you to touch, right? These are right here at arm's length. You just got to go get it, man. You gotta want to go get it, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the full circle way. This is what we adhere by every time you see us hop on the camera, whether it's, you know, in any capacity. This is us, right? So yeah, this is what confidence looks like. You know, this is a full mirror. I hope you get I hope this is encouraging enough for you to be like, yeah, I want to do what these guys is doing. I want to feel like those guys, right? No shade, right? Be comfortable enough to be wanting to do that, you know? Yeah.
Yes, sir. You can keep talking, man. I'm about to.
No, you're good. I was making sure we were straight.
Before we go to the screen.
Yeah, man, we gotta just talking about the near future. We got a lot of special pieces of content coming out, right? And we're trying to change up the dynamic a little bit, getting more into the social media space, yes, and more in depth with what we're doing as a collective, as a group, right? And so just making sure, you know what I'm saying, we stay active with y'all and making sure that we give y'all exactly what y'all asking for too. We got a lot of questions, comments, and concerns about what the future looks like for us. And so when that time comes, be there, because we gonna be there. We showing up every week. So yeah, let's get it going.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Yes, sir. You guys heard Flash, man. You know, be there, be consistent, be there with us, you know, because that's why, go ahead. That's why we doing this, you know, because so we can have a community and have like-minded people, because, you know, even though me and Flash is partners, we can't all do this by ourselves, and we don't know everything. So Full Circle Wealth is the way. Let me see how we looking.
Okay. Oh, shit. Okay.
Let me see how you looking. All right, they can see you. Yeah, bet. All right, we's in the game, man. First things first, man. You guys know how we do it, man. We always like to talk about the SP 500. and Bitcoin and the Full Circle Wealth Portfolio. Man, so if you guys are looking at this chart, man, you guys see what I got. I got the weekly high up here. I got the Friday high from last Friday up here. I got the weekly open right here. And I got the Friday low down here and the weekly low. So right here, this Friday low was a prominent level, man, along with this Friday high. Right here, we're on the daily time frame. Today's Wednesday. Yesterday is when we had the non-farm payrolls, right? And I want to bring that up real quick because the non-farm payrolls, for the people who don't know, man, that's just basically what they use. The market uses that to gauge how many jobs have been added to the economy, right? So I have a clear breakdown right here so we can actually see the scientific, or not the scientific, the real definition. Right here, you got non-farm payrolls. NFP is a monthly report that shows how many jobs were added or lost in the U.S. And it's important because it strongly influences interest rate expectations and often causes big, fast moves in the market. More jobs added than expected, usually bullish. That means strong economy. Fewer jobs or job losses. That means usually bearish. That means the economy is slowing down. But if the job growth is too strong, markets can turn bearish because it raises fear of higher interest rates. And based off what I was looking at yesterday, they got the unemployment rate at 4.6%. And then we have more than expected as far as unemployment rose in November by 64,000, right? So, so unemployment rate is rising, right? And that had the stock market moving up and down yesterday based off that news, man. You had that we opened up here, at 679. We went as low as 674, but then went as high at some point at 680, but we ended up closing at 678, right?
And because we have more, just clarify question for us, and so we had the more expected of 64,000, which is leading us to have this bearish trend on the market.
Yep. So yesterday, that's actually a good question, a good point Flash brought up, because usually when the data comes out, the day of the data comes out, the market moves and it's very volatile, it fluctuates. But the day after is usually what we really get as like the far as the main reaction. And you saw the same thing with like Jerome Powell, right? You know, we saw it fluctuate and go both directions the first day, but then the second day we saw it actually reach that Friday high. But we rejected it, and now we ended up coming back low, and we broke that Friday low, and now we're in that 672 range. So, you know, Flash, how you feeling about it, man?
Yeah, feeling like we got 2 weeks left, right? We had that news just come out, and ultimately we're still looking for that 700 SPY, right? We're still looking there. So we had this. Where's the resist or the support level that we need to touch before we get? We at 653.
We going pretty low. If we end up wanting to keep going lower, that's 653, because we're in no man's land right now, right? Almost, you know. So if I go down to a lower time frame, let me see if we can find any, you know, small support, but it is still looking like
it looked like it's kind of right there, right? I was gonna say, let me see the mouse real quick. I was gonna say it's looking on the 15-minute time frame.
Yeah,
it's looking like we're kind of in that range of
that support.
Yeah, this touch, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3, and we're kind of like we kind of broke it right at the top.
Even
So we're kind of below that. So let me create a line just for the people real quick, just so they can see.
You can use this one if you want to.
You're right.
That's
right at the top.
If you were looking for it.
You're good, yeah. And so we broke below that level that I was just talking about. And so, yeah, just like you said, no man's land. Trying to, maybe there might be a little bit. Okay, so we got 1 touch here, 2, but that's not really the same area. 3. And so we got another level, a potential level at 667. Let me put it there one more time. 667, right about here. What'd you say about here? Because we got this touch too as well.
Yeah, I would say about there, you know, or around that area, because even right here we got that bounce where we ended up going back up.
Yeah.
So around that area, around that 670, 668, 670, right? So we at 660. We just passed 675, and we'll see what happens when we touch 670 if we end up getting there and testing that. But it looked like we're getting there, man. So that's a good point.
Also want to check one more time. Do we have any more news before the end of the year is over? It's not looking like it. January effective rise early as small caps are. Yeah, we don't have no more news.
You know, yeah, we don't.
What we doing?
Look, man, when we don't got the news, man, you know, the market moves more freely. So if we don't got the news, because all this reaction is from the news. We had, you know, the non-farm data about the jobs. Then we also had Jerome Powell data from the Federal Reserve that caused us to do a lot of fluctuating. So now it's just market sentiment is up to us at this point.
Yeah. And
from 700, it's a cool 4% move. You know, which sounds.
It's not unlikely.
It's not unlikely.
It's not likely either, though.
It's gonna take a. It's gonna have to take a. It's gonna take an unexpected news event, a news event to push the market back up to that 700, and we see it happen all the time, right? When these institutions want to hit a number, man, they will hit that number.
Ain't nothing stopping it.
We see it happening, so we'll see, you know, because this also drop as we see we're on a downtrend the last week or so on this hourly chart. As you can see, we're definitely on a downtrend. So the downtrends, they move quicker, but they don't last as long, right? And the uptrends, they move slower, but they do last a little longer. So we'll see what happens after this downtrend, and I wouldn't be surprised if they just did this to build that liquidity and buy some more and before the year ends and take that profit. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. I'll pull it up Bitcoin, or if you want to keep touching on it.
Real quick. Shout out Flash for the support level, man. This ain't really.
Yeah.
This is on the 15-minute when I marked it. This is a good level right here.
That's a solid level right there.
It's a nice level.
And if you guys even want to, you know, you guys may not know about demand zones too much, right? But shout out to Flash for the support level, and then also right here we got a 1 hour demand right here that hasn't been touched yet.
Yeah.
Right. So price could come back to that 1 hour demand. I'm sure if we go to the 4 hours, also gonna be there. Let's see.
Yes,
right
it
there.
is. Okay, so
the 4 hour demand. So let's see. And that's 670. Shout out to our boy. Right. This is the beauty behind understanding the candlesticks and reading the charts and knowing technical analysis, man. So let me put that up in there, and if you want to break that down some more, go ahead, my boy.
Not today, but that should be a good topic, like technical analysis and how important it is, because not only technical but fundamental analysis as well. Just knowing not only what you're looking at, and then also knowing what you're looking at and how to dive into it too. You know what I'm saying? Because not only are there multiple demand zones, there's endless buy zones too. This is crazy. This is wild. Yeah, man. The power behind knowing how to trade, we gonna make sure that everybody there, right? Or not even trade, just starting that technical analysis, right? Making sure that we know exactly what we're looking at, and moving from there. Just like you were saying.
And for the people who don't know, technical analysis is just looking at this chart. So to put it make it very digestible. Fundamental analysis is what we look at when we're going to CNBC and looking at the news to get that type of news, or when we look up, you know, the news right here on TradingView and we read down and we see what's going on in the markets to help us gauge through the news. That's the fundamentals. Then technicals is when we get to this chart and we get real technical and we analyze the price of the chart. So there you go.
There it is.
How you want me to do it next, my boy?
We can go Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Look at this damn chart, man. Excuse my language, but look at this chart, man. Bitcoin is not doing what it's supposed to do.
Bitcoin, I got a notification that hit 85,000.
Yep.
Today.
Are these levels new?
No, they're not new. This is just what I was marking as like the range we're in. We're in that 93 to 80, 83. We trying to see where we break out of.
Right.
Shit.
And we getting to the point where we're at the end of the year. I think usually when this time around, Bitcoin is a lot slower towards the end of the year. Like overall, the crypto market, that super bullish 100x type deal, that was from the span of right after summertime going into the fall. So like around October, November, and everybody knows what happened to the crypto market. What was that, like November? What was that, October? When was that? That big. I think it was November 21st is the lowest. So I think it was that day, that Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. you see what Bitcoin's looking like. Not really, not looking the best overall, right? But you know what I'm gonna say, man. Buying opportunity. This is that ain't nothing stopping you from getting $86,000 crypto or Bitcoin, right? Spending you a good $1,000, maybe even $2,000, get you a nice chunk of change. So by the time we come first quarter one, 2026, when we see that 100,000 Bitcoin, or however it goes from there.
Talk about that percentage from the high
Yeah.
we're at. If you end up buying that for 86.
Right, that's a 55% gain on your money. If you hopped in right now, right, and we go all the way up to back to just 125. So let's just say like all the way to quarter two. If you hold during the cycle of quarter one and two, there's no telling where your money could be, and there's no telling where Bitcoin could go as well, because there's a lot of not specifically Bitcoin, but there's a lot of adaptations in the crypto world happening now. We have, a lot of things going on, which I will touch on later, but we there's a lot of things happening in the crypto space. So Bitcoin going back to 100,000 is inevitable, right? We got a lot of things coming, right? I do want to look at another ticker though, crypto.
Oh, you go to FCW. Yep.
Let's get XRP, man.
Yeah.
Let's look at XRP. You see that we was in this range before. We're on the daily. Let me go to the hourly. Broke this range by hella, right? Excuse my language, but we had the last time we talked about XRP and a good depth, we were here, and it was about right here. And we were trying to figure out what was going on. You know what I'm saying, and how the chart was looking. But you see now we're at $1.08, 80 cents. Sorry, almost 90 cent. So Bitcoin is not doing its big number. I mean XRP is not doing its big number. And the overall crypto market is down. Like a lot of these are not doing what they're supposed to do. This is XDC. I covered this about last week, 2 weeks ago, last week, and it was maybe 6 cents. Now it's 4 cents, right? So Ondo hitting real low, right? Ondo hasn't been this low in a long time. Let me go to the daily. Ondo hasn't been this low in a long time. Last time Ondo was at 30 cents was February 2024, right? And so that's just like an overall kind of look on what we're looking at and at what the crypto market is doing. And so there's not really too much to touch up on specifically. There's not really a reason on why. Actually, hold on, let's see. Durable goods order on the 18th. Okay, so maybe we do got a little bit of news left. Inflation rate, MOM. So, yeah, let me look at one more H-bar. Yeah, man, my portfolio is looking like hoo-ha right now.
So I do got a question though.
Yeah.
So from this pattern that I'm seeing from the chart, it seems to be Bitcoin, not even Bitcoin, but the crypto. I'm looking at it. It seems that they move in cycles, right? And based off the cycle that we're seeing right now, it seems like they're having a downtrend cycle, and because I noticed that in every single crypto that you brought up, the chart looks the same.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to the cycle, I don't really know too much about it, or what may be going on. You able to explain that a little bit about how they're moving coincidentally and the cycle?
Yeah. So if you don't know, Bitcoin controls really all of the market, right? Bitcoin is the most dominant crypto. So when Bitcoin is down, everything else is down. When Bitcoin is up, or not, that's not really how it goes. When Bitcoin is bearish, then the market is bearish, right? But when there are maybe like Bitcoin is being volatile, right? Then the altcoins may be up or down, right? There's so when it comes to cycles, it's we usually have a bull run every 4 years. And so our last bull run was about 3.5 years ago, which will make this year the bull run. So we didn't really have the best of bull runs. Let's go back to Bitcoin. We didn't really have the best of bull runs when it came to this year. Let me go to the. Oh, not that one. You got a monthly on here? You go monthly. Go to the 1 month. Right? the best year overall. Like this is the month by month. It wasn't the worst, right? But it wasn't the best. We at the beginning of the year, we were at about 96,000, right? And we hit for the high of the year. We hit 125, and so now we're kind of like we're below that currently at 86,000. So like it's a bit of a range. Let me kind of mark this out real quick. You already did actually.
You can clear some of that shit.
It's there. Look, I'm just making a array. How about that?
Yeah.
So wait, now my question to you is, because this is a level, right? Would I mark the top, or would I just mark where it hit multiple times? Because the candles hit, but the wicks obviously go higher than where I would be marking at. So I'm thinking here and not the top.
So personally, how I would do it is I would probably put it, because what you thought is like you had the right mindset, because that would help too. How I would do it is I would just put it like right here.
Bang.
Like and the reason why I did that is because that one touched and rejected. This one it touched it again and ended up moving a little past it, but it kind of like meets the median of like how they all touched. So yeah, that's how I would do it.
Yeah, I think that's come on. So back now we have, this is 2023. So since 2023 we've been in an uptrend, right? Clearly, but now we're hitting that like kind of like that resistance, or that resistance as we see we touched this multiple times. So we're kind of we're in a good range currently. Let me just change the color.
Mm-hmm. And then even the range that we're in right now is clearly support as well.
Yeah.
You know, around that range of 86 to 83. You could pull that down too if you want to a little bit.
It's already there. You right. It's already there.
Mm-hmm.
About right here,
about right there. Yeah. Yep. That's how I would. Yep.
About right here, because this one touched as well.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Bang. And
that literally perfect on my everything.
Yeah. So you see that we're in the range between 125 and 80,000 on the monthly time frame, right? And so we're kind of, if we break below this, which is 80,000. Remember, I was saying if we get below that 77,000 mark, we are in a bearish trend. Mm-hmm. So that would just only be confirmation of what we see. So I guess in the next month, I'm gonna touch back up on this monthly chart, and we're gonna see where we are, if we're below or still in the middle range between this, right? But anywhere between this 90,000 range, I think that's a perfect place to be when it comes to Bitcoin and the overall growth. We'll see that it's not. Like where this white line is, we'll see if we're around that area. I feel like we're always there's still chance, right? Yeah.
And I agree. So what I had looked at is I had thought about looking at how we opened Bitcoin for January 2024 that month, and how we. So for January 2024, get the mic real quick, brother. Looks like we opened Bitcoin. It kind of ended up kind of leveled out, but we ended up opening, and the whole 3 months was bearish. Like this was not bearish, bullish. Yeah, bullish. Sorry, not bearish. So that was January 24, great beginning of the year. Then you got okay. Let's go back to January 2023, Matt Flash. You get first 3 months, great year again. So you got
after a bearish
downtrend, but then okay, now let's go to 2022, because this is also looking like you also get a bullish uptrend again, and then you end up getting a downtrend. But for the past 3 years, it looks like that we've started the month in Bitcoin, the year in Bitcoin moving to the upside. Is that something that is there data behind that you could touch on?
Yes, there is, because if we continue to go back and further. Right, when we had that first huge, I guess that the move had already played out, but back in 2020, it wasn't that, right? So 2020, that was not that wasn't a bull market.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? We were in the bear market.
Yeah, right.
So we had that next 2 years come, and this first candle was in the middle of the year, but January 2020, 2021. A little bit, I got it. 2021 is when we kind of began that bull market, because like I said, every like 3.5 or 4 years, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So now we're kind of coming towards the end of our bull market in a sense, because it happens every 4 years.
Right.
And so every 3.5, 4. So now we're kind of just seeing what that looks like overall for the chart, right? And we're seeing what back to present time. We had that bull for the first year, right? 21, 22, 23, 24, right? 25 was a great year, but now we're kind of coming back to that level of settling it. Yeah.
And then now I got another question, man, because 2020 we was in a pandemic. We was also going through kind of what we're going through now, recession, right? Inflation, prices was crazy, a little crazy. So do you think that has any correlation as far as, you know, Bitcoin going through a cycle, and then also we was in a pandemic then, and now we're kind of in a recession type of now. You know, the economy is kind of looking the same as it did then. Do you think that also would have a play into how we open next year for Bitcoin?
Absolutely, because when it comes to not only adoption, right, but when people start to get noticed Bitcoin, just like they have, like nobody way back here. Sorry to just get a little sidetracked. Way back here when Bitcoin was 8,000, and this is how far this is how far TradingView has their market, but no one ever thought that Bitcoin would hit $1,000. There was a time where Bitcoin was 10 cents and nobody thought it would hit $100, $1,000, even $2, right? So there's always been a point where there has been more adoption of retail coming in and stepping in like, hey, I heard about Bitcoin. I think I should grab a piece because I see what it's moving like, right? And so when it comes to the recession, right, and we have a lot of people taking their money out of assets, and moving into like the safe haven assets, I feel like once that ball gets rolling and it's easier and it's Bitcoin is like a lot more accessible for everyone to buy, then after we get over this small hump, then we will once people start getting like the right type of win of Bitcoin, not seeing that it fell $20,000 for, you see what I'm saying? So once people get more comfortable with facing this wrath and they start thinking like investors rather than consumers, then that's when we will see, outside of the recession, is when we'll see Bitcoin go to another all-time high.
That answered the question, and I agree as well. Because like you said, man, people moving towards safe haven assets. We got the recession coming up, not recession coming up. We just in a different type of phase in our economy right now. You know, people are a little bit panicking. You know, Bitcoin is definitely going to be something. Bitcoin is the future. I mean, it's already here now. But I agree, you know, it would take people getting more comfortable with it before we see that big pop. I mean, we already see the big pop all the time, but, you know, once it gets to that real adoption and, you know, we get out of this, you know, kind of crazy economy that we're in, that's when I see Bitcoin flourishing more than it is now, you know. So, for sure.
Especially if we have Trump trying to make Bitcoin, he's trying to buy our debt with gold or Bitcoin, right? And so we have that coming up. So we'll see what Trump does too, because Trump likes crypto. He's pro crypto. So you know what I'm saying? Out of all the things that he has said and done, Bitcoin is something that he admires to the point that he's made his own coin. Everybody knows about the Trump coin, right? So crypto, the overall crypto space has a lot of potential. This is a very small pullback, right? This is a very small dip that we haven't. Also, I had clicked to the 1 hour because we was at 86 and we dipped as low as right here. Or let me go to the 15-minute. Man, I just watched that. And so I was like, you know, what are we looking like right now? But yeah. We don't panic, right? This is what kind of what panic looks like. Yeah. If I'm being completely honest. This is what it looks like when people are panicking about what they're doing and what their assets are doing, right? Just like my portfolio, a lot of people wouldn't endure losing like an 8% loss on the day, right? Like a 7%, 4 or 5% loss on the day. So, you know, a lot of room to grow.
Yep.
Don't be scared.
And then back to him not panicking, man. You know, that's why we always you know, before we get into the trading and stuff like that, we always like to emphasize investing, right? Because when it comes down to investing, your best bet is to hold over time because that's how you get the most growth.
Yes.
In the grand scheme of things, this pullback does not matter. It's minimal, like Flash was just talking about, compared to the entire growth of Bitcoin itself. So yeah, touching on a few stocks, man.
Yes.
Touching on a few stocks. We got Netflix, man. They're at $94, man. Netflix, they ended up just acquiring Warner Brothers for $82 billion, and the deal ended up going through.
Yep.
So Netflix is getting this, and you know, something that I was actually, I don't have my phone, it's recording, but I'm gonna see if I can remember the video from yesterday. I ended up coming across this video of the guy, ex-CEO of Blockbuster. He was talking about the deal between Netflix and Paramount and Warner Bros. And he was talking about why Netflix really needs this deal, right? And why Netflix really wanted this deal. Right here, we also see Netflix $72 billion bid for Warner Bros. Discovery assets was accepted, while Paramount's $108.4 billion was rejected. Right. So, long story short, man, Netflix really needed this deal because Netflix, their whole streaming service revolves around having a catalog, right? They need the movies, they need the catalog, right? So without that, they don't have a business. So when it comes down to acquiring Warner Brothers, right? HBO Max, which is also Netflix's kind of competitor, had had everything that Warner Bros. Had basically. They had to go through HBO Max to get to Warner Bros. And the deal works in their favor because now once they get Warner Bros., they also are able to bypass HBO Max and get everything that they need to not only build as a company, but they needed this to survive as a company.
Yeah.
So that was dope to know. You got anything you want to touch on about it?
Yeah, that you said that point perfectly, but remember going back to the point where their competition isn't, you know what I'm saying, other streaming services, right? So that HBO get over, that was that. I wouldn't even call that a hunt for them, you know? Like, yeah. On top of making it, incorporating the split, too. Like, that is top tier when it comes to access because now people like retail can go in and go buy $100 Netflix instead of spending $1,000, you know?
Yeah.
And so, Netflix is making big money moves. Do you want me to read that?
No, it wasn't really talking about nothing other than what I was talking about. You can if you want, though, actually.
I got you, yeah. Key facts. Netflix $72 billion bid for Warner Bros. Accepted. Paramount's offer rejected, right? I also want to touch on, see what Paramount is doing real quick, see what their stock is looking like. It says, Netflix $72 billion bid for Warner Bros. Discovery assets was accepted, while Paramount's $1.8 billion offer was rejected. Netflix...
Nah. You said $1.8 billion, brother.
100, right? Tweak it. Whoa, let me reread that. Sure you're right. Because I did read that wrong. Let me read that one more time too, because I didn't even get to grasp it when I said it. Netflix $72 billion offer for Warner Bros. Discovery's asset was accepted, while Paramount's $108.4 billion offer was rejected. Netflix shares rose about 2% in pre-market trading. Netflix has secured financing from major institutions planning to finalize a deal in 12 to 18 months with the $5.8 billion termination fee indicating confidence in regulatory approvals. So what that means is this is their risk, right? And so if they're willing to offer $72 billion, from my understanding, if they're willing to buy this for 72 and their risk is 5.8, they're guaranteed to get this. Yeah, they're trying to figure this out. But I want to know who helped them. What does that mean? And because obviously, you know, when it comes in the corporate business world, we have a lot of people that want a piece of things, right? We have Elon Musk, and he has a part of PayPal, right? And we got things like that, and so I want to know who helped these guys with this loan, right? And who's getting a piece of the pie ultimately. So this says, I typed that in. The search I said is Netflix has secured financing from major institutions to buy. I didn't say Warner Bros., but it already knew what I was talking about. Netflix has secured significant financing from major institutions to support its planned acquisition of Warner Bros. Discovery Incorporated. The financing includes a $59 billion bridge loan from Wall Street banks, which is expected to be one of the largest such loans in history. So, there's two things I want to say without getting too deep. We have we know what's up with Wall Street, right? That's the New York Stock Exchange, right? So that's a plethora of banks, right? Like that is a plethora. There's no telling with Wall Street banks. There's no telling where the money came from exactly, right? So not only Netflix pushing this, but so is the money.
Yeah.
Right? The money is pushing Netflix to buy Warner Bros. With that being said, you have to think about like our entire economy, right? And when it comes to what I don't want to say when it comes to what the wealthy wants, right? The wealthy kind of gets in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, like if they're pushing for a certain agenda, just like you said, that 700 SPY. If that money's moving that way in that direction, then that's where the money's going. I'm gonna read on because that's insane.
Yeah.
This financing is a part of Netflix's strategy to finance the acquisition, which is valued at approximately $8.27 billion. The deal is anticipated to close, in about 12 to 18 months. Warner Bros. Discovery plans spin-off of its linear television networks into a new entity called Discovery Global. Whoa. Okay, hold on. Let's search that up real quick. It kind of just said that. Global. Because now is this a rebrand? What parts of Warner Bros. Discovery is Netflix buying? News about Discovery Global was what I wanted to see. Hold on real quick. What this says right here, Warner Bros. Discovery battle hinges on value of crap co, but are CNN and cable networks really worth just $1 a share? But I'm not understanding. It says, as Netflix and Paramount fight for Warner Bros. Discovery, the fate of the giant media company could rest on the value of its cable networks. Warner Bros. Discovery is soon to be Warner Bros. And Discovery Global. Got you. Warner Bros. Discovery has begun to prepare for the impending divorce. As announced back in June, each half of the soon-to-be historic conglomerate has already claimed a CEO and division of the company. Now, these two halves which will operate as separate public traded entities, have brand new names to take with them into a single life. This is kind of crazy. Touch on this.
I bet I was reading.
Seeing what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I was reading some more. The new company spun out of WBD's current streaming and studios division will henceforth be known as Warner Bros. Variety reports this is where Warner Bros. Television, Warner Bros. Motion Picture Group, DC Studios, HBO Max, Warner Bros. Gaming Studios, and all of their film and TV libraries will be live when the separation is complete, which is expected to occur around mid-2026. The streaming and studios company gets to keep the Warner Bros. Name to honor the legacy of more than a century industry-defining storytelling. The company said in a statement, the current global networks division will be called Discovery Global. So right there, how I'm seeing is, they said they're going to make their streaming and studios division will be known as just Warner Bros. Itself, right? Instead of Warner Bros. Discovery of how it was. And then the current global networks division is going to be called Discovery Global. And this company will cover Warner Brother Discovery's entertainment, sports, news, TV brands, including CNN, Discovery, and TNT Sports. It will also house digital platforms like Discovery Plus. Bleacher Report? Since when? They have Bleacher Report as well as a number of free-to-air channels across Europe. So all I'm seeing is, man, Warner Bros. Made this deal, right? But they didn't have any intentions on slowing down.
Yeah, like losing.
They just made this deal and they used it to their advantage. They split up. Now they're not just one big thing. They didn't split themselves up. So now they have different conglomerates, and now they're in multiple lanes.
Let me see this real quick. Let me go. Because now we got to look at their stock, right? We got to see what they're talking about. Was that WBD?
I think we're in the futures right now. Let's go to all. Go ahead. My phone. Ooh-wee.
During the NAS?
Oh, you added it to the list.
All right. Fuck it. We added it to the list real quick.
Yep.
Is it on there?
Yeah, it was. It was at the bottom. It's all good. And now you see it's right there. Yes, sir.
So,
gapped up.
Exactly.
We gapped up. Touch on that.
Yeah. So, we have gapped up major since December 1st, right? So, that article that we were reading is from July. Whoa. So, this has been in effect, and we're kind of just now getting the news.
Because when I did see the article, I did see it was from 4 months ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So Warner Bros. This was bound to happen ultimately.
Yeah.
We could have kind of see if this is the importance of having fundamental, right? Because without this, we wouldn't even know to look at this document. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't even think to look here. So back to the chart, we look at. Let's go to the daily. Huge gap up from. I mean, we kind of started back in September. They had their earnings in September, good earnings. That was in August, actually. The whole September was up month, right? Big gap up here. Big gap up here. From there, we had a small pullback in October, at the beginning of October. But this right here is what I'm interested in, right? Because it's only been up from here. A small pullback now, but it's only been up from here. We just figured
this is within the last week of
yeah
and everything.
Come on.
Yeah. So when it comes down to companies making deals, making moves, right? News always reflects their stock, right? We thought this was only something that was good for Netflix, but this is also something good for Warner Bros. As well, as they're using this to. Yeah, Warner Bros. Definitely comes from. They definitely had a significant drop, but it looks like there could be some growth within the company as this gives them a new opportunity to be acquired, right? A piece of their company to be acquired, right? Oh, Mel found a good resistance point at that $30 range, and if we can get past that $30 range, you can see a run up in Warner Brothers, man. They're splitting up the company. They're not just going to stay stagnant after Netflix bought them, and they're not just going to take off the money and just go retire. Right now, Warner Bros. Is still putting stuff together. They're putting stuff together with Discovery Global, right, which attacks global networks and their sports, and then they have Warner Bros., which is just their streaming and video thing. So, and then again, Warner Bros. Instead of being a competitor, right, to Netflix, knowing that they weren't going to be able to beat them or get the same type of customers that they have, all they did was just partner with them.
Yeah, join them. Why not? Because they're. I also want to say the ultimate. This is our business, right? We are getting to the point where we know kind of the overall of what the business is looking like. So as a business, right, we have multiple missed earnings over the years, right? More losses than won earnings. So kind of comes to a point where it's like, as a business, you got to be like, hey, we're losing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're not, and accepting the loss, right? Even outside of business, as a person, you got to know when to call it quits, right? To the point where we can, now we're categorizing ourselves with the leading horse, right? Mm-hmm. Netflix is on a run, right? They pay-per-view events. Well, that's already major, right? I don't need to even keep going. Pay-per-view events on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Netflix $25 a month for the most premium selection. I think it's still like 14 plus tax 17. Regardless, $30 a month you can watch UFC fights, MMA, same thing, boxing, right? Like we got the Olympics coming up next year. Mm-hmm. where the Olympics being showed at?
You know, and let's get all the way real. You know, they're charging $25 right now, but this gives Netflix the ultimate position to be able to charge $50.
Literally
right?
double.
So you can charge double, and then you acquired Warner Bros. I don't know how much they actually get, but then if you're able to sell new movies on your platform, right, instead of going, you become the movie theater essentially.
Exactly.
It can premiere on the theaters. It can premiere on Netflix the same way they have the Netflix premiere.
Yes.
You know, so Netflix is in the game.
No, wait, we can't
They're gonna be charging $50-$60 a month. And that's a deal because you get brand new movies, you get all the Warner Bros. Exclusives, and then they're already pulling in $10 billion profit. You're good. So they have $10 billion profit within this last year. They made $40 billion, but $10 billion profit. And we know that they added a lot more debt by acquiring Warner Bros. But if this acquisition is able to give them the opportunity to charge more in the future, you know people still buying Netflix, man.
Yes.
People still buying. You know, the movies is getting outdated. There you go.
Yeah, but just like you said, because I don't want you to skip over that, bro. The Netflix is becoming the movie theater.
Yeah.
So now we also got to start thinking about, you know, AMC. What they feel. I'm on a. This is a humbug, right? But
Yeah.
let's just see. Oh. Not reacting, but see, come on. AMC Networks has expressed concern over the net. Okay, so if you don't know, AMC is the leading one of the top movie providers, theater, right? So there's AMC and there's Regal, right? And so AMC is just one. I would look up Regal as well, but AMC Networks has expressed concern over the Netflix acquisition of Warner Bros., fearing it could lead to the decline of movie theaters and the overall movie business. Shout out Official Go Getter for even saying that off the, you know what I'm saying? That was off the mental too. I wasn't even thinking about no AMC, right?
Yeah.
The second sentence. The company has been in a co-exclusive licensing deal with Warner Bros. Discovery, which allows select titles to be available on Max for a limited time. The deal has seen an increase in popularity for AMC titles on Netflix. So is Netflix in it?
With a new bundle of AMC titles available ad-free on Netflix for 12 months from August 2024. However, the deal has also sparked fear within the industry, with some producers and filmmakers expressing worries about the long-term impact of the acquisition on the movie-going experience. So when I read this deal has been seeing an increase in popularity from AMC titles on Netflix, with a new bundle of AMC titles available ad-free on Netflix for 12 months. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of struggling to piece together how, because if they're concerned, how are they concerned if Netflix? Yes, they can be concerned, but then they're also partnering. Netflix is also partnering with them, or is it?
But it
Netflix
just ended though, because it says it says an increase in popularity for AMC titles on Netflix, with a new bundle of AMC titles available ad-free on Netflix for 12 months from August 2024. So that just ended.
I thought from August 2024 meant it started August 2024.
For 12 months.
Ah, okay.
So last August.
2024.
You see me?
We're August 2025.
You feel me?
It's done.
So now it's like these niggas is tripping. They're getting everything. Like
Okay, because you guys was partnering with us. Okay,
Yes.
so we was working with us, and we was giving you ad-free titles
Yes.
for 12 months.
Yes.
We had that deal. Netflix, man, this ain't good enough for me.
Right, exactly.
We went to the source.
Exactly. Middleman. Come on, bro. So what does that look like for AMC? Hold on.
Let's see, man. Let's see. Oh
My goodness.
Dang.
And it's only $1.
Ooh.
Ooh, wait, what was the high? Ooh.
So look, let me tell you.
Netflix. No.
So bro, I don't remember when it was, but AMC kind of had like the same pop as Games. They had like a GameStop type of pop, right?
My goodness.
And you know, I think like people, bro, what is
keep
up with
going,
this chart? What is up with this? Bro, this is a big deal, you guys, because look, if you can see this chart, man, You got AMC was at they hit $400 June 21st, right? They was at $400 as a high. They was in a range, but in the hundreds. That was June. Then when you get to September 2022, you get to $58. Then it keeps going lower to the point where now in 2025, I've never seen a stock like this. It's at $1.84.
Yes, and we had COVID 2019, 2020, right? So we was kind of down. After that first year of COVID, right? We had maybe what year is this? 22?
That's 21. It looked like
21. So then after a little bit after, we started getting that everybody started coming back to the movies, right? Because we was coming out of COVID.
This nigga,
you feel me?
Yeah, you're filthy, man.
Come on,
I didn't
bro.
even think about it. We was not in the movies.
I was going to the movies in 2022, like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I think Toy Story 4 had came out that year.
Yeah.
Or there's so many of those. Anyways, I went to the movies though, and this is where that came from.
People was going back to the movies. Now we're up. You're eating. That's where that AMC pop came from, and why a lot of people was making money from AMC. When I was first getting into the market, I was kind of learning about it, and I would see it. And then you have that collapse, right? You have that fall.
It's flat though.
And now it's flat.
Crazy.
You know, and then like AMC is, you know, if we also take the time to look at this company's financial chart just real quick, it's in a strong sell zone. It's in a strong sell, right? Strong sell. They got a year price target of $3. That's crazy.
Coming from 400.
That is insane.
This
bro.
is a chart about life too. There's ups and downs.
There's ups and downs.
We're gonna be hit that high.
So look, man, when we look at the tech, not the financials, right? We're looking for a year-over-year growth, right? And right here we see that in quarter 4 of 2023, their total revenue was at 1.1 billion. That's 2023. Then we go down to 950 million, back to 1.1 billion in Q2 2024, then 1.3 quarter 3 2024, all the way to the point where now we're still at quarter 3 of 2025 at 1.3 billion, right? Your gross profit, it's not, well, it is kind of increasing. It's fluctuating over the years. But when it comes down to, you know, this company's growth, man, doesn't seem like AMC sees a lot of it, right? Which is what causes, you know, them to fall, even though they probably had a lot of revenue coming in at some point when the movies were coming back out, and which causes people not to invest into them because these numbers matter, man. And the balance sheet, the income statement, all this stuff, right? Their total assets have decreased. You don't want to see that. They decreased over time. Their liabilities have they're more than their assets. Yes. We always talk about this in life. You don't want your liabilities to be more than your assets. And this is a business where their liabilities are more than their assets.
They're practically the same. You know what I'm saying? They're really not making no money. You know what I'm saying? Or equity, right? But they're not, overall, they're not really making no money.
That's just negative.
Right. Like, oh my goodness. If their liability, quarter 4 2023, liabilities 10.8 billion. Total assets 9.1 billion. Shout out official Go Getter for because now we done went down the rabbit hole and we know where not to buy at, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And just one more, if you know, just real quick. If I got the video, I just want to play it for you guys so you guys can see what I was talking about. Just one more. Oh, what am I? I'm in Full Circle Wealth right now. Go to official.
Hold on, man. Yeah, back your ass up, man.
Yeah, y'all tripping.
Hold on, man.
They do be tripping, man.
Come on, we ain't stealing passwords right here.
Let's see. Blueprint table. Did I send it there? Did I send it there? This one. So I sent it to my guys yesterday.
To buy Warner Brothers Discovery, Paramount has now launched a hostile bid for Warner.
So what's behind all of this, and why is Netflix trying to buy a major studio like Warner Brothers? Well, it's not really for the movie production business as much as it is to gain access to more and more subscription content. You see, Netflix to survive has to have content. Yes. And HBO is one of the largest providers of subscription content. They've secured this content exclusively for HBO, and so the only way Netflix can access those movies is to acquire Warner Brothers and therefore get HBO. Now, why is Paramount aggressively fighting this deal? Paramount and the other major motion picture studios don't want the subscription business to continue to grow and grow and grow. Why? Because most of the studios make their money on the cinematic release, and it used to be in the DVD window, because that was more or less the pay-per-view window.
And here's the
That's
blockbuster
one
CEO
of the
too.
things that they're trying to protect, to prevent the whole industry going to subscription, because here's the difference. Subscription basically is the all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yes.
And if you make a $500 million movie, you want to be able to, and almost have to monetize that movie through the theatrical window, and then hopefully the pay-per-view window before it gets tossed into the all-you-can-eat buffet. It's basic economics. Paramount's trying to protect the integrity of future movie growth and development. Netflix is trying to grow their base of subscription offerings. It's a classic battle. Be anxious to see who wins.
After a deal was struck.
So, just like you were saying, that's
a good break.
mind your business. But nah, just like that was the CEO of a Blockbuster. If you didn't get that quick memo that popped on the screen, that was the ex-CEO of Blockbuster who sold DVDs. He said that the times went from DVD players, and then it was in the movies first, right? DVD players, movies, and then pay-per-view, and then subscription-based. But Netflix is cutting out the middleman, right? And so once they've acquired Warner Bros., which gives them access to HBO, just like he said. And so now there is no middleman. So the movie could come out, just like he said, $500 million on a movie, right? As soon you can see that monetization coming from Netflix. Netflix is giving payouts to those movie directors immediately instead of forgiving them. The movie production gives them their movie off the rip. Like, here, this is yours. We don't want this in the theaters. We don't want this, that, and the third. AMC, we seen AMC. They're doing terrible. So we don't want this in the theaters. We want this on your platform. Now, there's no middleman. Like, bro, Netflix is taking so many pieces off of the board with this move too. Also, Warner Bros. Is making their moves to figure out how to navigate outside of Netflix as well. Just like they're splitting down the middle. Overall, this is crazy. This is getting wild. I'm glad we did this breakdown too, because it took up a lot of the full circle wealth, right? This is what the people want to see. I know this is what you want to see because we just did the hard work for you. So now we're telling you where to put your money. This is full circle wealth. You need to be here doing the work with us, right? But this is what we do for you guys, right? This is what it comes down to at the end of the day. Knowing where to put your money, knowing where to buy, right? Knowing when to buy, when to sell as well. Yeah. What you got?
Bro, it was very dope to hear that video, especially coming from an ex-Blockbuster CEO. Hearing how he was speaking about it, he seemed excited. I'm excited to see where the world is going to, and it's just dope to hear about these. This is why we love the market, which is why we love doing what we're doing, man. It's dope to hear about this stuff, right? It's dope to hear about how these big corporations are, fighting to get to the top, right? You got companies who feel some type of way about the other company. We just trying to grow.
Drama, yeah.
We just trying to eat, and they trying to eat too. So, that was definitely some good insight. Just like Flash said. Let me see what time we're at. What time are we at? We are at 58.
Just under an hour.
Just under an hour, man. So
I do want to
go ahead.
say one more thing. This don't work without us, right? Netflix needs us to subscribe as well. So this is why this is such a top tier deal, bro. Like it's really major. It's really, at first for face value, it's like, oh, Netflix buying Warner Bros. Oh shit, I remember what's on Warner Bros. Like movies, right? This movie, that movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now they're coming to Netflix. Damn. Okay, nice. Let me go on about my day. It's overall breakdown. Fire too.
Overall breakdown, it broke down way more, man.
Yes.
Way more.
I did want to say that there may be a new addition to the portfolio.
Yes, sir. What we got?
Look up The ticker symbol DXYZ. Yes, Destiny.
Oh, okay.
You know about this?
I know about this a little bit.
Yes. Okay. So for overall, let me just so I don't gotta do too much over explaining. Could you type it in for me? Destiny Tech 100. Yep. The Destiny Tech 100 is Destiny Tech is designed to be an exchange listed portfolio of the top 100 high growth tech companies. So these are companies, the Tech 100 companies consist of the companies that aren't listed, they haven't had an initial public offering, IPO. They're not on the stock market, right? They're the company specifically. So what Destiny did was took that company and put it into this fund. So, yep, if we scroll down, we see the portfolio of Destiny, right? So, SpaceX at the top. We know SpaceX. That's Elon Musk. That is rocket ships, right? OpenAI as well. They got 5% of that portfolio. Another one, Epic Games. That's Fortnite. Kraken is also an exchange, crypto exchange. They have 3% of that. What really sparked my mind though when I seen this go down for me, I gotta see Discord. Mm-hmm. It's not a whole percent, but they own Discord. Discord grows over time. Over time, Discord has been a lot of things, and it's been nothing but growth ultimately. And this is it's a fund, top 100.
Yeah, I've heard about this before. And I haven't looked at it in a long time, but I'm glad you touched up on it because, like you said, it gives the opportunity to get exposed to these private companies. Man, these private companies, right? These is the companies. Believe it or not, or coincidentally, actually, these companies are going to be. I saw a list of these companies IPOing next year, so we're going to be. SpaceX is going to be an individual company that we can buy at some point, right? And SpaceX, like he said, that's Elon Musk and their rocket ships, and he's trying to get to Mars. I don't know what that is. OpenAI, we know that they're coming out. You know, OpenAI, ChatGPT, AI leader. You know, they are definitely going to be a good public company when it's time to IPO. Kraken, crypto exchange, Stripe. That's a payment system that they use for online nowadays. A lot of content creators, a lot of businesses, they use Stripe as their payment system. Klarna, we know what Klarna is. That's that what's that called? That Afterpay, not Afterpay. The financing company. You know, they give you the opportunity to finance. Afterpay. Yeah, for Afterpay.
Chime, I didn't even see that one.
Yeah, so you got Chime. We know about Chime. Chime is that online fintech company, financial tech.
Yep, I have a Chime card in my wallet. Actually.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? You need to get a SoFi card.
You are right.
Discord. Hey, we got Discord, man. Discord is definitely good to see, you know, because we got to see them go from just a gaming platform to a business platform, right? And now we have a business on Discord. Right. Shout out to our free community, right? If you guys want to join our free community, Full Circle Wealth of the community, link will be in the comments.
Click the link.
Yep. Jeeves, I don't know what that is. Plaid, that's that system that you guys be on your phone when it's time to log into your bank account.
Oh, really?
And
yes.
they have that right. You can log into your bank account and connect it to another system. That's Plaid.
You're right.
Right? And that's all I know. So definitely, I like the fact that you brought this up. You know, this is an index that gives us the opportunity to buy these private companies, man. So touch on that some more if you want to.
Yes, this gives you a chance to get into the world before it breaks open, right? Because I had seen this news clip on the news basically saying that SpaceX is going to be IPO'd at like $400, which is insane, right? And so if SpaceX is offered at $400 for the initial, right, that would mean that Destiny, since it's $30, that will make the price of Destiny shoot up, right? Mm-hmm. Because if the IPO for SpaceX gets offered at $400 and there's nothing right now, I don't even know what that looks like. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't even.
What?
When a company comes out with their own IPO, they're still gonna be in this fund, right? But what does that do for the price? Because it just obviously it's a no-brainer that it goes up, but how much, right?
Honestly, brother, I don't know either.
Right.
That's something new to me too. That's something that we can look into. So,
Look this up right here.
yeah.
Destiny Tech 100 jumps after the report says top holding SpaceX is lining up blockbuster IPO. I'm trying to look for a number. Elon Musk's SpaceX is pursuing an IPO next year, looking to raise more than $25 billion with an evaluation of over $1 trillion. As of September 30th, SpaceX is Destiny's largest equity holding and accounts for 23.3% of the fund's economic exposure. Destiny stock has halved this year, but still trades at a premium of 145% to its net asset value, which was on September 30th. So they have already halved too. So kind of break that down for me, because
What the stock has half this year, but still trades at a 145% premium.
Yeah, so does that mean like the stock is worth, let's say 100, right? So that means 30. That means $3. What does that mean?
I really don't know. I ain't gonna lie. It was 100. So when I heard half, all I did was assume that it went half in price. Like $100 it was when it first IPO'd, April 2024. And then
Instead of half.
that whole November 2024, you get to 70, around 80. And now this year we're at $30, right? So that's all I assume with the half.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the premium, I know what kind of premium means when it comes down to like options trading.
Yeah.
But I really don't know what premium means right here in this
When it comes to funds.
in this context. So I'm just gonna go copy and paste this in ChatGPT real quick and have him give us a one sentence.
Wait.
Oh, my fault, brother. You can type it.
What you saying?
One sentence explanation, please.
I'm saying break this down for me. You did say one sentence. I'm tweaking.
No, you're good. You're good. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to read a little more. You feel me?
Right. That was me. Well, stop him real quick.
But we can get the gist
Okay,
real quick.
yeah.
You know, remember to be specific with y'all ChatGPT, or else he come with a whole 3 pages.
Exactly.
DXYZ stock has half this year. The stock is priced down is about 50% compared to where it started the year. Example. So that was the right example, right? So we was at like $70 and we've halved to $30. Net asset value, what the company assets are actually worth minus its liabilities. Think of it like if the company sold everything today and paid its debts, this is what would be left, right? So when we hear net asset value, but it still trades at a 145% premium to its net asset value, right? Trades at 145% premium to net asset value. This is the wild part.
Yes.
So a 145% premium means the stock price is more than double the value of its underlying assets, right? Ooh, okay.
So I seen this calculation right here.
Yeah.
So $30 is the stock times $2.45.
Net asset value per share, $4 as an example. Stock price equals $9. So basically, that's when the stock price is, just whatever percentage increase it is compared to what the assets are actually worth.
So it's actually worth about $12.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
So investors are paying too. Okay, cool. Why this matters? Even after getting cut in half, the stock is still extremely expensive relative to its real value. This usually means heavy hype speculation. People are betting on future growth, brand story. The risk in one sentence: if the hype fades or reality hits, the stock can keep falling, but not because the business is collapsing, but because the premium shrinks.
Yes.
Even though DXYZ already got smoked this year, people are still paying way more than it actually worth, which makes sense because the companies are within it.
Yes. So now that we got this overall breakdown and understanding of what we're looking at when it comes to Destiny DXYZ, right? This is not worthy enough to go. It's cool to look at. This could be on a watch list, but this is not going on the full circle portfolio.
We don't have to delete it though.
Okay, yeah,
I think like you said, it's still good to watch and keep there, because when these companies IPO, because all they're doing is they're just, this is all speculation based off of the fact that these companies are going to come out big, which they are.
Yes.
A lot of these companies are going to come out big. And all these people are doing like just like us. You know, we see the opportunity to buy and get value for these companies, and it makes sense that it's saying is more than what it is really worth, because these companies ain't proved themselves yet,
Right.
ain't dropped yet, none of that. But it still gives us as investors the opportunity to still own and stuff. The only risky part is the fact that when these companies do drop, it could either make this popper drop even lower,
exactly.
right? Luckily, if you do buy right now, you actually are at a good price. $30 isn't too far from that low that it is of $13, right?
Yeah.
And it takes a lot for us to get back down there. I don't know if I don't know if we end up getting back there. And if we do, I don't think we stay there. You're at 30, you're still within like a low type of range. If you end up hitting like, oh my gosh. If you end up hitting just to $50, that's a 64%. But then you go back to the downside to $13, that's
Around the same type of move.
hell no. That's 197%.
Oh wow, I'm tweaking.
Ooh wee. Okay, so maybe not buying at $30.
You see them?
But this is an opportunity when these companies do IPO and drop, you can own a piece of them for cheaper instead of, like, for example, if SpaceX drops at $400 and you don't want to pay for $400, but you want to own still a good piece of them, you could pay the $50, $60 that it may be for DXYZ, right? So that's about it.
Yeah, I had went through that phase of like, hold on, because that premium, I know that premiums could absolutely be higher, but for my first understanding of really understanding what a premium is, and for these guys to be 145 up value of their premium, it just of their value, it just seemed like, just like you said, there's a lot of room to grow, but there also is a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when these companies, when it does come out, these companies will move this for sure. So yeah, man. Anything else you got before we close out, man?
Let's look at gold real quick. Let's see what gold's talking about. Okay, and actually, let's look at silver. Gold, we know what gold's talking about, but let's look at silver. I'm gonna get rid of this. Yeah.
Oh, you gotta hit the line.
I'm gonna get rid of this. Look at what silver's doing on the daily time frame, right? Let's just go to the beginning of this year. January 1st. It doesn't give me the first, it gives me the third. It was at $34, right? So, full circle, if you were to get in at $34, you're just about to hit double your profit, and so $66 is not a lot, right? A lot of people spend $66 on gas, right? You know what I'm saying? That $66 on a meal when it comes to what you're trying to cook in the kitchen, right? Like you gotta, I didn't have too much to say, but just look at the chart, right? Yeah. You see where we've come from, and you see that overall growth, the full circle wealth motto, right? This is where wealth begins. So, with that being said, you started at the beginning of the year, and you would have, doubled your money. You have to hold assets over time. You gotta let this grow and let it build. With that being said, this is Full Circle, man. We coming at you every week, every Wednesday. You know how we're coming, right? You know how we're doing it. Broke down a lot of things. Broke down Netflix today. Broke down gold, or broke down silver. Broke down SPY like we do. Broke down Bitcoin, and yes, this is how we're coming. Oh, no free promo. I don't know that dude.
No free promo. Yes, sir.
Make sure you tune in, man. We're trying to hit 1,000 followers by the end of the year, man. We close to it. You know what I'm saying? We get in there. Just like you said, that we got the link in the bio for the Discord as well as the YouTube, and that very same link, right? Join the community. Tap into the YouTube channels. This video will be dropping on YouTube shortly. You know how we get. We got the clips coming. You know how we get. Look at our catalog, man. This is the Full Circle way. And this only been a couple months. We've only been on the in-person, you feel me? For a hot second. So tune in, man. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, man. Comment, subscribe if you guys is watching this on YouTube. Follow our Twitch if you're watching this on Twitch. We got the Instagram pulled up right here. Follow us at Full Circle Wealth _ right? And as we just did the breakdown on the charts, we talked about the market, stocks, crypto. Don't forget that we have our free community, Full Circle Wealth. So if you guys ever want to gain any knowledge, learn from us, learn with us, connect with us, join our free community, Full Circle Wealth, man, and learn and grow together, man. Let's get to this top and be prepared by 2030. So, yes, sir. With that being said, we out.
Full circle out.